I love how you had the expression, because I actually was going to bring that up. And we all have our expressions that stick with us.
Yes.
On your Instagram, you have pressure is a privilege. The best is yet to come.
Yes.
My expression was at the yoga studio. I used to see it as I went to the shower. It said, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't
It
change
doesn't
you.
change you. It doesn't. And that's true.
And I looked
What?
at it, and
Mhm.
everything, and I took that expression in everything in life. I'm saying to myself, if this is not challenging me, it's not going to change me. So when you see a challenge, that's not a roadblock. That's an opportunity for change. It's an opportunity for growth. You've been given a privilege now. You get to go outside of your comfort zone, and you're going to get to expand and be a better you, a different you. This is pretty cool, and I love it. And that's where I could tell you, buddy, you challenged me beyond as far as any teacher has ever challenged me in that sense. And you changed me, but changed me for the good. And you know, living normal day-to-day life, not having to pose, not having to have those holds. Now all of a sudden, walking is so much easier. Life is so much easier. It's like I'm thinking the other day, even I did push-ups for the first time with no weight on me. So I do my my CrossFit with Jared, and part of the circuit was near the end. He put a 45 pounder on my back. I have to do the perfectly straight push-ups, and I'm doing like 12 of them, 15 of them. But once you've done a whole bunch of circuits for an hour, it's exhausting. Now I'm doing a new circuit on my day 3, and all of a sudden, as part of it, I'm doing 10 push-ups as part of a cycle. So there's 3 different exercises, and see how many of the cycles I can do in 10 minutes. But 10 push-ups with no weight on your back, oh, I could go all day. This is fantastic. So it's funny how we have these mental gymnastics with ourselves, and when you pass the limitations, life can be so easy. It's so fun. It's great. Like, and then you just carry it forward to everything else you do. Like, and everything you're doing professionally in life, in education, where you're going career-wise. I dare to say you would not be anywhere close to it if you hadn't developed that mental toughness that you developed during weight training and competitions.
I think I agree, and I think this is a kind of a sport that you can apply to so many aspects in life. The mental toughness. I do remember. Uh, I think this is how I explained it to myself back then. I don't look at it the same way, but when I got fourth in Mr. Asia, uh, I was so disappointed, and people were cheering down. But I was disappointed for a reason. Is that I set myself for excellence, and being very rational and objective. When I saw the guy on the first, they won the gold, I knew he's better than me. I also have the humility to believe that I can see it with my eyes, because my eyes, I post people. So I want to make sure that, if somebody's better than me, they are better than me. But I lost. So I put my head down, and I had a word with myself, sat down, arms folded. I was like, okay, we have done this now. What's next? The next thing is cardio again. What do you mean, what's next? It's only upwards from here. And following up on the previous conversation about the post competition blues,
Yes.
it's not for it, it doesn't have an end stop. I think the end stop is only when they put me back into the ground. And this is the beauty I love about bodybuilding so much, is that you can do it right until they put you in the grave, man. It's such a beautiful sport. I'm so passionate about it. I preach it to every possible person, and there's somebody who can always, like, you don't have to do a lot. Like, when people get this wrong idea that, hey, I have to squat like 5 plates, 6 plates. No, man, you just sit down and get up. That's an exercise. Go up and down the stairs, jump a little rope, go for a little walk. That's all fitness. It all tie in together, and after a year or so, you would look at yourself and become unrecognizable. And I think that adds to that mental toughness of yours, and that applies to everything in life. It's like the closing deal phenomena. uh, I am going to complete this set with 10 reps, and I want to push to that 10 repetition. That 10 is not a barrier. That's a set mark that I've set for myself. I want to go exceed that. Similarly, when it comes to doing numbers in life, like, you're going to do a business deal, this is my projected income, my revenue for the year. That's a good benchmark. Like that's a good rule of thumb. Like we would be doing good, but that is not my limitation. That does not define me. I define it. And I think I did the same. So if the viewers, I used to work for the Bank of Montreal. Right now, I'm a banker here for Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, CIBC known, in the city of St. John's, biggest center here. And I started working recently again after switching jobs due to moving provinces. But I think one segment that always stayed with me, and this came from bodybuilding, was to define your own numbers. If you want to hit your 100%, that's for everyone. That's what you've been told to. What if you want to hit 500%? If that's even possible? Because I would say potential is just an expression of what's possible. And how would you find out what's possible until you put in your everything you've got? And we have all got everything different within us.
It's
That fire within you, it's different. It cannot be defined by an external person. Now, obviously, there are limitations. I'm not denying that. But how would you define what's possible unless and until you put in your everything and then get better? It's like from a mechanical perspective, if you give a motor a bigger load, it's going to burn. But the human soul is not like that. It's going to adapt to that load. The same we do with squats. Like, I don't even remember how many times like I've sat down with a bar and folded like a book, right? Could never get up with the bar on the back again. But I promise you, I've gotten up every single time eventually.